Okay.
Okay, we're back.
We're back to politics and whatever.
Before we were talking about the. Do you remember?
Finland, right?
Yeah, Finland. Yeah.
How it's happy and stuff.
How it's happy and stuff.
Yeah. So but it's there's the other side, which is like babies aren't born as much as people are dying.
Yeah.
The country is shrinking, the population, and immigration has always been very controlled and small.
Yeah.
Like I'm first generation, and people still speak English to me while I'm there. While they've always said, this is Finland, speak Finnish, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it. But then,
So Finland talk in Finnish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people speak Swedish or Finn Swedish, which is Swedish with a Finnish accent because it's very different sounds. So in Finnish we speak very, I guess it's called monotone, where it's like big. It's like we speak like this.
You're fucking with me.
No, seriously, like
Try.
Okei, no jos mä olisin niinku suomen kielellä puhumassa tässä nyt, niin mä selittäisin sulle, että näin on asiat jo sit mikään ei oikein.
Just you can.
It's not very expressive. People are
You
not
can
very
do it with expressively.
With or without?
With. Yeah. Try.
Okay. Siis mä voin puhua suomea.
Yeah.
That's different.
Why? Why you didn't do that?
Because that's how I speak with my friends. That's who I am. But generally, people aren't like that unless they get I don't know how to say it, like a drink.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's not normal.
Oh, it's not normal there too.
Yeah, like it's there is no like communal sort of culture of people hanging out, like elderly men playing chess or card games outside, having a cigarette and a coffee outside. It's not like that. That's like South Europe.
So if you're Finnish people talking in English, they're more expressive than talking
maybe
in
a little
Finnish.
bit. Maybe it depends on who they're with. But I think if they're in Finland or around other Finns, they're more aware. Yeah, it's very.
So if you're talking in Finnish, you'll talk like.
It depends. It depends on the day.
Sorry.
It depends on the day. It depends on the people. I usually try to be like myself. I try to be outgoing and stuff. But a lot of times you get backlash from that if you do it the wrong way or wrong situation, and you have to like find a balance to it. So there's like we have a very like even our hospitality or service sector, it's very professional and very like precise. Everybody thinks Germans are like very structured, but Finns are also very, very much like that. We're just not known because we're so small and stuff. So, but in Finland, the system works. Everything's like in order, and you can't just be like, yeah, mañana. It's not that kind of culture. That's like South Europe. Totally different. They're in the sun. They're just having fun. They're drinking coffee and wine.
So Finland is more serious country.
Yes. And usually when you hear like Brits or Germans, they're like, oh, we're so stuck up. We're so rigid. You're like, oh man, you're just halfway there. You're barely there. You haven't gone to the north. Like we are different.
Why?
So Europe is like 3 levels really. It's like the Nordics. They're very strict and very like everything is in order. There's
why you don't feel happy?
You're content. You're content because everything works. There's no problems. If you need something, just call a place. You get an appointment. Next day, boom, bam, bam, you got it in. You can get a new passport in 2 weeks. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like everything works very good. So you have to like you can't really complain. Even like people complain a lot because it's so easy and it's been like a generation or two now with really good lifestyle. So people forget, even though our generation, we were taught in school about the war against the big bear.
Yeah.
If you know what
Big
that
bear?
is. Yeah. the eastern country, Russia,
not
the USSR.
Oh, okay.
So we were taught about the wars and how they gained independence from Sweden and Russia and all these, you know, big players, you know, the neighbors. And people are forgotten. Like now, people don't remember. Like they don't know how good it is.
So after you travel to
Yeah.
Thailand, to Australia, do you feel happier if you go back to Finland?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Do you feel? You said because people there
Yeah.
don't know what they really have.
Yeah.
So after you see the world, after you travel a lot,
Yeah.
are you gonna feel happier back there, or or you feel it's really good to live in Finland?
Yeah, that's what I've gotten. Like seriously, every time I've left the country for a long period of time, and especially now since I've been in Australia, and by the way, having very what's the word I'm looking for? Challenging times.
Okay.
I've really gotten a deep appreciation and missing back home.
Okay.
Because just missing family, being around people I know, having the support system, and knowing the culture, knowing the people, even though the people can be sort of stranger, you still know them.
Yeah.
They're still your countrymen, you know?
Yeah,
You still feel like I never felt at home in Finland until I left Finland.
Yeah.
It's like the whole like apple doesn't fall far from the tree kind of deal. Like every time I left for a long time, I came back and I was like, damn, it's actually really good here. The water's amazing. The shops are amazing. Everything works really great. There's no problems. Like people just complain about silly things and you just get more content. That's the word, I think. I think we're the most content people maybe.
Yeah.
If we realized how content we can be.
Yeah.
I think people need to
just-
travel more
Yeah.
to other places than like Spain, Greece, Turkey, these fun places that you can just go and have beer at the hotel and just sit by the pool. But actually going somewhere where you have to try things and you have to kind of
Go to Thailand, to Indonesia.
sure.
Yeah.
But even people who go to Thailand or Indonesia, they just go to drink, party,
Oh,
and
so
have fun.
So you
They
mean
don't-
it's not traveling for a holiday, but traveling for live there quite a while?
Yeah,
Not just 1 week having fun.
Exactly. Like I had one or two of those kind of vacations when I was like 19 or 20 or whatever. I sometimes I'll have a few weeks when I go to like Berlin or London or whatever. I'll have some fun somewhere. But mostly I want to travel to experience, to see the culture, to see history, to understand how the world works, you know, how the neighbors work and how people have moved around certain times and how people look. Because when I did like Euro trip, like a Eurail, it's called. So you get this like train ticket. You pay like maybe $300 worth, and you can get like 1 month travel for 15 days. So every day when you travel the first time, you get like a 24-hour window when you can travel anywhere basically almost.
Oh, okay.
And you just might have to pay for a reservation, but you already have a ticket. So you can go anywhere. So I did one of those.
Is it just only for citizen or?
No,
tourists can
if
do
you're outside the EU, you have a other website for it, and it's like a little bit more expensive.
Oh,
but
okay.
yes, you can do it. So I did this, and I went from Sweden down to like Denmark, Germany, over to Holland, Belgium, and London, and then Paris and Barcelona. So I went through the whole like north to south of Western Europe, and it was amazing to see when you cross from Sweden to Denmark. You see a sort of difference between the housing and even the faces. And then you go to Denmark to like Germany, and you see more of a difference. When you just cross a border, you see that it's like these
different.
The people look very similar. Everything looks very similar, but there's a small difference. But if you go straight from Sweden to like France, it's very different. But if you go from Sweden to Denmark to Germany
It's just
and then France, you
a little
see
bit different.
exactly.
Yeah.
and this is the story of humanity I see. Like, this is, for me, it's like, I look like certain people from around where my family's from, and then Finnish people look like somehow like Swedish or Russian or Danish, you know? Mm-hmm. But then the Danish look more like, you know, German or Brit, and then those people look more like French and Spanish. So it's like the everywhere there's like a big area, and then there's like country. But like we usually we're from one country, then we look somewhere far. And we're like, oh, those people look weird. They're so different. But you're like, no, but go in between and you can see how these people look like you and these people look like you. When you're in the middle, right? So like for you, I would say like, if you look at Thai people, Chinese people, like, yeah, I can see like the looks, you know?
Yeah.
But if you look at me and you, we don't look much alike. But if we go to like somewhere in between, let's say Bangladesh.
Okay.
Or somewhere around there,
we can say, oh, similar.
We see some features, right?
Yeah.
And this is amazing for me about traveling. It's like seeing humanity at a scale and be like,
It's not like just black and white, but you see the grace.
You see, like, if you put 100 people with similar faces, you could see like, oh my God, they look like a family. You know, like a video from is it like Michael Jackson's Black and White?
I don't know.
He has the song Black and White. Watch that video. There's like and then there's like faces. They're like morphing. You know, every time there's like a new face, and they're very different. But I've seen faces now more recently where they do like an art installation in like my library they did in Helsinki, where they had like maybe hundreds of faces, and they would just morph into different faces, and you would see all of humanity.
Okay.
But the faces were very close to each other, so you would see how it just blends very fast. You know, when you go from like even though the white ginger to like a black person, it's like only 5 faces in between, and you're like, oh, I can see that. You know, it's like only like you've seen people who are not close to your ethnicity, but they have a facial structure or feature or a smile or a laughter or a way they
similar.
They remind you of someone who you know. Right?
Yeah.
You have the looks, you have the eyes, you have the nose, you have the smile, whatever, and you can see these things in all of humanity. You can go to the other side of the planet and you can meet someone and be like, oh my God, that looks like my aunt or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy about travel.
So you're gonna be here for 2 years?
Oh, that's the question everybody keeps asking.
Or 3 years?
I can't do 3 years because I'm old.
Okay. I'm not the one who's saying that this time.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. I don't mind because I like to get older. I think we get better, especially men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wiser, better, stronger.
Yeah, wiser. And most people I follow, they seem to be like in their prime physical, like just strength and health in their like 40s and 50s. And I'm like, damn. Because if you build your muscles and health throughout the decades, of course you're gonna end up better. But we have this idea fed to us that, oh, you get older, you just, like your 20s are the best time. No, you're freaking like a teenager. You don't know anything in your 20s.
Yeah.
In your 30s, you should really like see yourself as a teenager in the adult world. And then 40s is like when it all starts and you're really a 20-year-old. Yeah. And I can say that at 30, I'm in my best condition now than I was before. So for me, it seems to work. So
you know what I'm laughing for?
Yeah.
You are so easy to move.
What?
You're so easy to like talking in one topic and then
right?
And then go back to here again.
Like where was I again?
Oh my question, you're gonna stay here for 2 years?
Oh right, yes, that was the question. How did I even go to somewhere else? Oh my God, you have to cut everything out of it. I think so. I think it's just so early. I've only been here for 4 months now.
Yeah. And
my first experience has been very challenging with this town and with this work.
Yeah.
And so I
no one say it's an easy job.
Nobody.
No one at all.
I was the only one who said I like it at first. Because I do actually like it.
And then? Now you don't like it?
No, I like it. I just usually have an issue with people's egos.
What do you mean?
I think it's like someone said that the HR, someone older, and they're like 50s, they were like, a lot of the times today, it's the HR that's having problems with young people having silly issues like, like someone saying, oh, I don't know, you don't use my proper pronouns. And it's like, dude, we're here to work. We don't care about these social issues, right? And so I feel like when I go to work, like I'm giving my 110 in every job I do, but here I'm doing really good job. Most of my supervisors seem to like me, and they give me like extra work, and I got a new task every now and then, and so I'm doing a good job. But still, there's like some of these issues that come up. Like there's not always like these supervisors here are all foreign, and I heard someone tell me that one of the seniors has been here for like a year.
A year?
Yeah.
And
so I'm like, that's really new. I would have imagined that these people are, have been here for like 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
And they would manage the whole scene, because we're talking about hundreds of people that work in this factory, right? And a lot of people with knives, lots of animals being slaughtered, and lots of, it's just messy. It's food production, and lots of electricity and cold, wet, and all these things that it should be run very good, but since it's very fast, the people changing here and people leaving every 2 weeks, there's new people coming in, right? So it's hard to manage for sure, but it seems to like the structure that they should have in place, just so everything would work better. I feel that there's improvements to be made.
So you feel like you like your job, but
I like the job.
I like the job. Like the management is good enough.
Yes, and also just the culture. Like people say hi, they're nice and all that, but the fact that it seems like it's a factory on full capacity or full, turned on full mode all the time.
Yeah.
And especially like on Wednesdays, I think, because it's a payday. Did you feel that yesterday? I was trapping, but I felt like so many boxes were coming in, and I was like, why are these boxes coming in? Because they were supposed to go to the China check, but they were coming from all the China check and for my strap, so they were like doing double or something.
No, because the belt that go up, it's always stuck there.
It wasn't full. Sometimes I would see it in halfway, and they would send me like 10 boxes. Because I don't know if the boxes were wet or they had just had extra, but I felt like it was extra, because a lot of Wednesdays I've noticed they seem to crank it up, because they're like, it's payday, let's people can work harder.
I feels like the hardest day is Monday.
Really? Yeah. No.
I feel like it's Monday.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'll try to check it out next Monday.
Yeah.
Believe it.
Okay, so what's your plan next?
My plan next is to go to. I'm gonna resign, and I'll have 20 days off between the jobs, which is a lot of time.
Yeah.
But
where are you
should
going?
be fine. I'm gonna go to Melbourne first.
Okay.
And live in a hostel and cook my food, and then maybe go to Adelaide for I don't know how long, but I'll start from Melbourne and go to Adelaide, and then after Adelaide I'll go to north to the Flinders Ranges, which is a desert in the middle of nowhere, and I'm gonna work with camels, and then I'm gonna do that for maybe 2 months.
It's so funny you're gonna work with the camels.
Why?
It's like you're working and the camels are working and you're gonna be a workmate. Hey,
email.
Okay.
Hey bro, you're late. What the fuck?
Okay, you work with the camels. What did you do there? What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna enjoy the views The stars, bro. The stars are like my main thing.
Not like the fun things to do, but what is a job there?
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought it was like because it's a fun job. Okay, we're like selling to the people, like, you can do fun things, you know.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so basically, I'm gonna cut vegetables, find the firewood, and make the fire, and tame the fire, and take care of the animals, and the gear. Because the camels are there to bring all the gear. They're gonna bring all the swags, the sleeping bags, the water, the food. So all these things the camels are carrying. It's not for us to ride. So I'm gonna have to take care of the equipment to take them out of the camels. Probably put the camels somewhere where they can sit or relax, and then make the fire, cut the stuff, take care of help out in everything, just be an assistant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And watch out for animals.
So tourists will go there and enjoy the deserts.
Yeah, so we're gonna have like groups of people, of like 5 people. So
how long is it gonna be for one trip?
About a week or 2.
Oh, so you're gonna go like work for 2 weeks and then go back home and
No. I'm gonna live there the whole time in a small village where
okay.
the population's 10 people.
10 people? Okay, it's not even a
one
small
cafe.
It's not a small village. It's a small house.
It's like 3 families probably, right? It's like a few houses.
It's a small village but only 10 people.
It's got a name.
It's even have a cafe.
Yeah, there's a cafe.
Who ran the business? Who is the waiter? Who is the customer?
That's the thing. I think it's an Australian thing. There's like these roadhouses in the middle of nowhere, because the center of the country, there's like one road that I know of. Like there's the coastal road, and then there's this road that goes through South Australia, the center, and maybe there's like a 3rd or 4th.
So
like 2.
So when people traveling, they're gonna go to that cafe.
Exactly. It's like one road, and then there's like a cafe, and maybe there's a sign like, "Hey," because when you travel here to the cities, you see all the time like, "Hey, snoozing can kill, an instant, and blinking of an eye. Like if you're tired, stop. There's a cafe, right? It's like take a snooze, sleep in your car, right? There's all these because it's a big country and people forget maybe that the drive is going to be really long. So maybe this is why the business is okay if you have a little cafe somewhere, because people are going to stop by, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So basically, I'm going to live in the farm. I'm going to have housing. I'm going to have food prepared, so no payments from me, so only saving.
Oh, you're not gonna spend any money?
No.
Yeah, everything go to your bank account is your saving.
Yes.
Because food, rent, all provided.
All provided, yes.
So after that, you still don't know where to go?
After that, no, because like I told you, it's gonna be end of winter by that time, so I'm gonna probably not need to go to Brisbane or Cairns for the weather, because it's gonna get better down here, right?
Yeah.
So I'll have to see during the time there.
So after 2 years, you're going back to Finland?
No, I'm gonna go after the first year.
After the first year, you're gonna go back to Finland and apply
see my family, apply for the next year, and then spend like 6 months there, and then come back here. Yeah.
All the way from north to the south.
Yeah, right. And it's like, it's gonna be end of winter when I go back for Europe. It's gonna be February, March. So I'm gonna try to stay somewhere in Asia and Europe before I go back home, and then start working.
Going back here in the end of the winter year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like June or July, maybe August or somewhere after, when it gets cold in Finland. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for conclude, I think our video is long enough.
Yeah, probably. Most likely.
What do you think about Australia? You like it? Enjoy it?
I think it's so big and so spread out. And since I came to the least favorite spot of the country, because everybody, when I was in Melbourne, people were like, "Oh, Adelaide, the city of churches and stuff." So they thought it wasn't so cool. Everybody wants to go to Melbourne, Sydney, maybe Perth, Brisbane.
Yeah,
Gold
but
Coast.
not Adelaide. Yeah.
Not Adelaide, and not especially
Border town.
So I think I just have so much more to discover, and I'm not gonna rush into conclusions yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna still discover?
Yeah,
and-
definitely. I'm gonna
and-
discover more, and I think the lifestyle here is still nicer in a sense because you have more mixing of cultures and more of the
Okay.
world here than back home. So I do appreciate that, and I like the weather. And I'm gonna maybe next, because also when I started, I didn't have much money left. I was running out very quickly, you know, because it's very expensive here, and trying to apply for jobs and just getting, you know, the first thing. And now having all these challenges here in a small town with housing and with work, and now finally having just enough savings to go out and be free and do maybe something more fun. So I think it depends on also that. So that's why I was saying in the beginning, like, be prepared so that you don't get into a situation where you have to go to a regional place where you're stuck in one house or one area, one job, and you can't really leave because you don't have enough money. Because, you know, so, and it's because, you know, competitive to find jobs. So you just want to be secure enough that you can have a few weeks on your own, especially after, you know, having spent time here. Like now I feel more comfortable of looking than like back then, because I didn't know anything. I just came into the country thinking, oh, it's so easy for me to get a job in Finland, so why wouldn't it be here as well, right? So I was very confident back then.
So you cannot conclude that how's Australia? So maybe after all of this working holiday visa finish, I hope I can go to Europe. And we will make the video there.
Oh, dude, that would be awesome. Dude, seriously, if I'm in Finland, you come by and I'll show you the best things. Okay. That would be awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to Finland. And yeah, write in the comments what do you think. And all the best.